Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved, 8-0. Executive session, the board met in executive session on Monday, May 19th, prior to the committee meetings for personnel matters and following the committee meetings for personnel and legal matters and confidential student information. The board will also be meeting in executive session after the meeting tonight. 1.5 recognition, special time of the year. We have a lot of recognition, so I like all of our students and the parents that came out and family to support. To say thank you, the board will recognize participants in the Schuylkill Valley Special Track and Field Invitational, the PIAA 2A Boys and Girls Championships, the BCIU Art Show Award winners, the 2025 Berks County course, the 2025 PMEA District 10 course, and then also our recent Reading Area Community College graduate. And then after we're here, we'll be moving to the gym because we also have an unveil for the latest 100-win winner for wrestling, Ian Vitola. I guess we'll turn it over to Dana, Miss Dana Carter.
Good evening, Schuylkill Valley School Board, District Community, and the Board of Directors. On Wednesday, May 7th, the Schuylkill Valley School District hosted its 8th annual Special Track and Field Invitational. This event showcased competitive athletic performances and fostered a spirit of camaraderie among participating student athletes. The Invitational offers students a positive opportunity to take a break from their academic pursuits and engage in friendly competition alongside peers of similar abilities. Athletes had the chance to earn ribbons awarded for placements of 1st to 6th place in events including the softball throw, shot put, standing long jump, running long jump, and races of the 25 meters, 50 meters, and 100 meters. As Schuylkill Valley School District, we are committed to providing opportunities for student athletes of all abilities to showcase their talents and celebrate their achievements. The SVSD Special Track and Field Invitational was created when a local university no longer had the Special Olympics. Through the participation in athletic events, individuals with intellectual disabilities, developmental delays, physical disabilities, and other disabilities can be discovered through their strengths, abilities, and achieve success. Many times, individuals in special ed programs may not have the same opportunities to participate in school community due to various barriers such as lack of opportunity, significant safety concerns, or highly competitive environments. By involving our special different ability athletes, this Special Annual Track and Field Invitational gives Berks County students, athletes, the ability to compete against other athletes with similar abilities from across the county, just as they were able to fully participate safely in school sports and in PIAA. On the day of the Invitational, the athletes were able to experience joy, confidence, and laughter in front of their families, classmates on an even playing field, rather than feeling excluded and receiving minimal playing time in traditional sports. It was said by a Brandywine Heights parent last year. A lot of these kids don't get the traditional opportunities and aren't given the same chances to succeed. But today they are on the same playing field and they get that chance. The Invitational was all about seeing students shine and having a fun breakout in smiles, laughter on their day to compete. We are excited we had welcomed over 240 student athletes from Antietam, BCIU PAL program, Brandywine Heights area, Conwell Weiser area, Ole Valley area, and Reading Southern Middle School, as well as our very own Schuylkill Valley students at our district to participate in these track and field. In front of many volunteers, parents, grandparents, school board members, siblings, teachers, paraprofessional, classmates, retired teachers. The athletes were able to wear a blue shirt that was donated by Kiko Artisan Group, wore cool sunglasses donated by Sunrise Heating, Plumbing, and Cooling, blue bubbles donated by the Connor Cluffel Foundation, and were entertained by light-up tools by the Fraternal Order of Police. And we were able to see their faces painted by our very own SVHS Arts Club. Our annual motto of the Invitational is "Believe in us because we can achieve." At this time, we would like to present the presentation for some of the many highlights of the 2025 Annual Invitational.
I don't look like my friends. We all are different. God made us special and unique. Yeah, we come from different places. We all have different faces. There's no one in the world like me. Just like a rainbow, we are so beautiful. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all.
Hey, Paul. How do I turn this thing on? Hey, is this thing on? I have an announcement to make. Welcome to Schuylkill Valley Special Track and Field 2025. We are happy you could join us. We want to say an extra thank you to Miss Carter for all your hard work in planning this event. We love you. Please join me in saying the athlete's oath. We are important. We are able to accomplish many things. We are worthy of greatness. And if you believe in us, we will achieve. So today, let us win. But if we cannot win, let us be brave. In the attempt, I declare the Schuylkill Valley School District Special Track and Field Invitational open for competition. Thank you all. That's all I have to say. Please, good luck out there. Earn your best shots and our
wonderfully made. We are not the same, we are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same, we are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made by you. And check out this hair on my head. God said each one he counted. I think that means he cares a lot. A lot, lot. And I know it doesn't matter. Walking or in a wheelchair. I am his child and I am loved. So I trust him. No matter what. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made by you. God makes no mistakes. Nobody's body is the same. Like stars in the sky. We are the apple of his eye. God makes no mistakes. Nobody's body is the same. Like stars in the sky. We're his design. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are all wonderfully, wonderfully made by you.
I am differently able. Differently able man.
I am differently able man.
I turn my gaze, I look away, but that doesn't mean I have nothing to say. So don't ignore me, don't give up on me. I'm trying hard to do as you please. 'Cause I can hear you when I'm not looking at you. I can see you without staring at you. I can feel you, we don't have to touch. I'm a differently able man, and I matter so much. And I matter so much. We're all different, no two are the same. So get to know me, remember my name. And just like me for who I am. And be patient, try to understand that I can hear you when I'm not looking at you. I can see you without staring at you. I can feel you, we don't have to touch. I'm a differently able man, and I matter so much. And I matter so much. Try not to judge me when I look away. I wanna fit in, but it's not my way. Sometimes I run, but I just wanna stay. If I could speak, this is what I would say. see you without staring at you. I can feel you, we don't have to touch. I'm a differently abled man, and I matter so much. And I matter so much. My breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. You're gonna hear me roar. Now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder,
At this time, I'm going to have the student athletes come up. What I'm asking you to do is to come through to the center aisle, and as your student or child comes through the center aisle, then you're going to meet Mr. Mole, the president of the school board, and stand by Mr. Mole. I'm going to then say what places or what events, and then Mr. Mole has a little token for the student, and then they're going to go back to your seat. And then at the end of the presentation, I have one or two other things to say, and then the athletes from the special track and field institution, we're going to head over to the gymnasium for a group picture. So again, just come through the center aisle, stand by Mr. Mole, president, school board president. I will say the places of your child, and then he will give you a little token of present, and then go back to your seat, and then after that, you will go over to the gymnasium, and Mrs. Manzo will take a group picture. Okay? So we have kindergartner Malachi Kirk. And Malachi, he got in the 25-meter third place, in the standing long jump he got second place, and in the softball throw fourth place. A round of applause for Malachi. And we have first grader Trent Clark. Trent got in the 25-meter fourth place. In the running long jump, he got second place, and he got second place in the softball throw. A round of applause for Trent. We have a first grader Kinley Coy. And Kinley got in the meter race, the 25 fourth place, in the standing long jump second place, and in the softball throw second place. A round of applause for Kinley. We have second grader RJ Constanzo. Why don't we come back here? I'll bring it back. It's all right. It's all right, Arch. It's all right, buddy. Oh, here's a bag for you. Here's a bag for you, but I'm still going to announce it up front, okay?
Just a reminder for all the parents, there is a phantom bin in the bag. So I just want to make sure all the parents know that it's in there.
RJ got fifth place in the 25-meter. In the standing long jump, he got sixth place, and in the softball throw, he got first place. Woo! Jonah Ronaldi, sorry. Come on up, Jonah. Jonah got sixth place in the 50-meter, in the standing long jump fourth place, and in the shot put fourth place. A round of applause for Jonah. Vinny Catanzaro, second grader. You're a smart man. And Vinny got fourth place in the 100-meter as a second grader, the running long jump second place, and in the shot put third place. A round of applause for Vinny. Elijah Rajnek, third grader. Come on up, Elijah. Elijah got first place in the 25, second place in the standing long jump, and second place in the softball throw. A round of applause for Elijah. John Rinaldi, come on up, fourth grader, soon to be middle schooler. And then look back at Daddy so Daddy can get a picture back there. He got fifth place in the 100-meter, fourth place in the running long jump, and third place in the shot put. A round of applause for John. And we have fourth grader, soon to be middle schooler, Lucas Sapo. He got third place in the 50. He got third place in the running long jump and third place in the shot put. A round of applause for Lucas. Before I move on to the middle schoolers, is there anyone, elementary school student that might have come in and I did not get on the list? Any elementary school student? Okay, to the middle schoolers, we have Quinn Reinert. Come on up. Hey, Quinny. And Quinn got fifth place in the 100-meter, fourth place in the running long jump, and fourth place in the shot put. A round of applause for Quinn. Royce Potts, fifth grader. He also ran the 100 and got third place in the running long jump. He got second place in the shot put. He got second place. A round of applause for Royce. Fifth grader Ben Zaharia. Come on up, Ben. And Benjamin got first place in the 100-meter, third place in the running long jump, and third place in the softball throw. Congratulations, Ben. Fifth grader Summer Nicometto. Summer got fifth place in the 100-meter, second place in the running long jump, and second place in the shot put. A round of applause for Summer. Eighth grader Hamid Sharif, come on up. Hamid got second place in the 25, first place in the standing long jump, and second place in the shot put. A round of applause. Eighth grader Rashid Sharif, come on up. Rashid got 3rd place in the 50-meter, 2nd place in the running long jump, and 3rd place in the shot put. A round of applause for Rashid. Carlos Jacques, 8th grader, come on up. Carlos got 3rd place in the 50. He got 2nd place in the standing long jump. And in the shot put, he got 2nd place. A round of applause for Carlos. Is there any other middle schooler that I might have missed? Okay. 7th grader Silas Regan, come on up. So Silas got 1st place in the 100-meter, 1st place in the running long jump, and 1st place in the shot put. All 3 blue ribbons. Congratulations, Silas. Nice job, kid. Anyone else? And the high schoolers. Ellie Hernandez, 9th grader, come on up. Ellie got 1st place in the 100-meter, 1st place in the running long jump, and 1st place in the shot put. Another blue ribbon. And 12th grader TJ McDougall, come on up. And TJ got 5th place in the 50-meter, 3rd place in the standing long jump, and 5th place in the softball throw. A round of applause for TJ. Is there any other high school that I might have missed, and I apologize if I did? Is there anyone that I missed, and I would apologize? Okay, just a few last statements here. Thank you, Dr. Brewer, and thank you, Mr. Mole. If you attended the Invitational, you witnessed high fives, the hugs, the smiles, and the laughters, and the giggles. And tonight we are witnessing the recognition of our SVSD athletes' accomplishments. Our goal was met by creating a memorable and positive experience for the student athletes, their families, friends, teachers, paraprofessionals, SVSD board members, and our administration and classmates, providing them with the opportunity to shine for their athletic pursuits. I would sincerely like to thank the following teachers for their assistance in the organization leading up to the Invitational on the day of the event and the follow-up. Mr. Christopher Gallo, Mr. Jonathan Jenkins, Ms. Sue Raines, Ms. Jessica Jordan Postetter, and Ms. Jenny Miller. Additionally, I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Keener for his support in the Invitational over the past 8 years, as well as serving as a district contact person for the past 2. I greatly appreciate all of you and your help. The Invitational would not be what it is if it wasn't for all of you. Thank you. Lastly, and most importantly, we are so grateful to all the parents who have entrusted your children to our special ed classrooms every day. Thank you for your ongoing support and encouragement, both at home and when your child faces challenges at school. Your belief in us as educators means the world to us as we strive to help your children grow socially, emotionally, and academically. We are truly fortunate to have such incredible families and amazing kids with unique abilities in our district. Thank you for letting our SVSD staff and me be part of your children's lives. I am blessed to be a part of this, your school family, and everybody here remember tonight. Believe in us because we can achieve too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Carter. What a tremendous presentation. It was a great day outside. Lots of effort that went into this by you and all of the staff. So thank you, and a great job to all of our students, to all of our families. It was wonderful to see everybody participate and great to see everyone here tonight. Now, did you want students to go next door for a picture? Or did you want to wait?
We can wait till all the
Oh,
awards are done.
that would be-
All right with you, so that our kids can also see their other peers.
Okay, that'd be great. All right, at this time, Mr. Moll's going to come back up and start at the next part on the table, and we're going to honor our Berks County musicians. I'm going to start, when I call your name up, if you'd come up, see Mr. Moll, and then if you just wait here in front of the table, we'll get everybody up here at one time. Gabriel Perry, also involved in the county jazz band and county chorus. It's been fun to watch Gabriel. Whenever there's someone at the piano, it's usually Gabe, so great job. Serena Redinger. Andrew Kerper, also in the county jazz band. Is Andrew here? Jack Gambler, also county band. Michael Galby. Joshua Searfoss. Justin Widener. And Justin was also 2025 PMEA District 10 Chorus. And Isabella Consugar. Let's give these students one more round of applause. All right, thank you, guys. We also want to take some time tonight to honor our art show winners. Kiara Street. Is Kiara here tonight? Yes. Kiara was Berks County Fast Lane Award, Reading Berks Guild of Craftsmen, second place in Fine Arts, and honorable mention in Pen and Ink. Very talented person. Just stay here and wait for us, okay? We'll get everyone up at one time. Alicia Rose Jadian, Berks County Fast Lane Award. Isabella Birch. Isabella was honorable mention in color drawing. Kiara Street, who we just heard about, who also was honorable mention in pen and ink drawing, as I said previously. Samantha Davis, first place in mixed media collage. Jaru Ba, honorable mention in mixed media collage. Elizabeth Bidding, honorable mention in color photography. Dylan Kuzin, honorable mention, Noda Art, Reading Berks Guild of Craftsmen, first place in crafts. Is Dylan here today? And of course, there was Luke Pine, who was our award winner at the BCIU. Let's give these students a round of applause. All right, thank you. We also want to take tonight to honor some of our athletes, our 2025 PIAA Boys 2A Swimming and Diving Championships. We'll start there. Owen Eisenhofer. This is a long list. 2025 PIAA State Championship champion in the 100 backstroke, second place in the 400 free relay, and fourth place in the 200 medley relay. That was all Owen Eisenhofer. Luke Clark. Luke took second place in the 400 free relay and fourth place in the 200 medley relay. Hunter Moyer. Hunter took second place in the 400 free relay. Aiden Lawson. Second place in the 400 free relay. What a team. Kyle Gao. Is Kyle here today? Okay, he was fourth place in the 200 medley relay. Gabe Martin, fourth place, 200 medley relay. Is Gabe here tonight? All right. We also want to honor our 2025 PIAA Girls 2A Swimming and Diving Championships. Charlotte Schwendeman, first place in the 1-meter dive, first place at the BCIAA Championship Diving Meet. I don't know that Charlotte could be with us here tonight, but we want to honor her effort and all that she accomplished this year in diving. Carly Krills. Is Carly with us tonight? Carly Krills, third place in first meter diving, second place at the BCIAA Championship Diving Meet. Mabel Walborn. It's Mabel here. Yes. Mabel was placed third in the 200 free and fifth in the 500 free. Let's give these swimmers divers a round of applause. Thank you all for being here tonight. All right, we'll let you guys sit down. And I will say we are pleased to announce we had Lila Gilmore, who just this weekend was sixth in the state in long jump, so we'll be honoring her at a upcoming board meeting. That one was hot off the press from this weekend. And I want to take the time, we have one more person with us here today. Taylor Henry. Is Taylor here today? We want to honor Taylor. She graduated from RAC with an associate's degree, and we have something for her, and we'll catch up with her in school. We also have one more thing that we'd like to do today. Ian Vitello, is he here tonight? We're going to ask that everybody come across the gym with us just for a moment, and we are going to be unveiling that wrestling 100 win for Ian Vitello, and then we'll take some group pictures of everybody in the gym while the board come back then and complete their meeting. So if you join us over in the gym, we're going to unveil that.
So we're going to continue on from 1.5 recognition. That was special. It's nice to see the banners that were created, I think, last year, or maybe 2 years now, for our basketball team and then also for our wrestlers. So we're going to move on now to 2.0, reports of officers and board representatives. 2.1, president. I'm going to pass tonight because we're already after 8 o'clock. 2.2, Linda Lash, secretary.
No report.
2.3, Berks County IU Board, Linda Lash.
I do have a couple things. One is we got a copy of the award winners from the secondary art exhibit through the IU. And on top of all the winners that got special recognition at the Goggle Works, and if you've never been at the Goggle Works, when our students present their art there from the county schools, it's really worth going to see that. I wasn't there this year, but I've gone often, and it's a really good presentation of what kids can do in art. But every year, the IU selects an art piece for their permanent collection. And this year, the winner was Ella Damiani of Wilson School District, and that comes with a stipend award, and that colored pencil drawing that she did, which is beautiful, is now hanging in the hallway at
also some special awards that are going to be presented down at East Campus. And I can't say what the award is, but we will have a Schuylkill Valley person who is receiving an award, and I will not steal their thunder, and that'll be tomorrow night. So it was a very full list of programs that we've gone through at the BCTC. Again, if you heard me talk about it earlier, this will have the most number of enrolled students, I think at close to 2,100 in the program, so that's the highest by 200. They've tried to modify everything that they've looked at. We're looking at some construction over the summer to facilitate some additional health career choices, because that's the program that seems to have the longest waiting list. So we're moving around a couple programs and spaces, hopefully over the summer, that we can increase that enrollment. So that's all I have for 2.4. 2.5, Tax Collection Committee. Unfortunately, Nikki is not here tonight, but that's not going to have a report because they only meet quarterly, March, June, September, and December. So she would not have a report for this evening anyway. 2.6, Pennsylvania School Board Association Liaison.
I do have a couple things, and in the last couple of days, or even tomorrow, you might get your school leader bulletin, board members, and I was looking through it today, and something stuck out very interesting to me. It was called Sparking Passions and Building Skills for Life by Cassandra Mock Davis, and it was on the FFA programs in the state. And last week, at the committee meetings, I said I attended the FFA banquet that our students put on here, and it was so well done. I was really pleased with that. And this article is on what FFA means today. It's not just for farming students. It's not just for boys. In fact, if I look through the pictures in this article, there are quite a lot of girls taking up agriculture and agricultural science. And this is an extensive article. But something I found very interesting was the history of the blue jacket. And if you've ever seen FFA students dressed, they really look sharp. And I remember as a kid going to high school, the FFA members in their blue jackets, and that's what they wore to school just about every day. Went out and purchased a blue jacket and had yellow lettering on it, and that's how that started. So if you, I'd encourage board members to read that article. Also, something that's good for our county, I think, last year at the state school board convention, there were 4 STEAM names, or 4 names that were drawn out of a hat for STEAM contributions, STEAM scholarships, and Governor Mifflin happened to be a winner of that. I'm never lucky enough to be able to win anything for Schuylkill Valley, but I was glad Mifflin did. And they took that on to make guitars. Striking a chord with steam. So there's a picture in there of one of the guitars that they made. And then the last article that I thought to bring to everybody's attention was on It's the Law, and it's written by Michael Levin, and it's on FMLA leave. And there's questions and answers in that article, and it's always good to brush up on that in case you haven't read about that for a while. It's always good to know about FMLA, and that's all I have on that.
Thank you, Linda. And then finally, 2.7, Schuylkill Valley Education Foundation, Linda.
I don't have a report. Thank you.
So moving on to 3.0, persons who wish to address the board. Anybody who wishes to address the board will have 3 minutes to state their questions and concerns. Please state your name and where you live. We have 2 people signed up tonight. First one is Carol Weant.
Good evening, Carol Weant, Burntown.
I don't think your mic's
Mic is
on.
not on.
Point it towards yourself, too.
And YouTube is having trouble, so speak up to make sure they
Okay.
get it.
Carol Weant, Byrne Township. So now the primary is over and the results are pretty clear. This election was never about a negative minority trying to cause trouble. It was an election about a positive majority, a majority that cared deeply about our children and our district, and being positive that we can get our district back on track with changes in our leadership. Time after time, people came up to this podium and expressed sincere concerns about serious situations that are detrimental to our students. Concerns from those who had put in the time and commitment for years, even decades, to make Schuylkill Valley a respected and successful district. Those with deep ties not only to our district, but to our entire community. But some of the board ignored the pleas that something was going very wrong and let it slip away. Do you know any other school district that has had the kind of turnover we've had? Principals, assistant principals, business managers, buildings and grounds, guidance counselors, and countless professional staff who have left after the current superintendent came on board. There is a reason. Many told you the reason, and it fell on deaf ears. No more. No more gaslighting. No more 7-minute eulogies because you don't know your staff. No more therapy sessions for groups of teachers during school time when we are already woefully short on subs. No more marigolds or color of the day or whatever. You can't fix something you ruined, ignored that it was being ruined for almost 4 years, and then want to fake try like you can make it better now. It's way too late for that. So here we are. There's going to be a change on the board with at least 3, maybe 4 new faces at the table come December. We will then need to focus on making things right again, and that will be the focus. And I look forward to working with all the board to reach that goal. But here's my current concern. The superintendent's contract is to 2026. I know next month the board has to let her know the intent to renew or not. You may have ignored the public concerns, the petitions, the mass staff departures, but you can't ignore the results of this election. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Jeff Golden.
Jeff Golden, Eastport Borough. I want to take some of my time to, again, acknowledge the student athletes, musicians, and artists who are honored tonight. It's really truly amazing about what they achieved in a short period of time as young adults. So commend all of them, and young children, too. Everybody was awesome, and everybody who supports them, thank you. I want to address, hopefully I get to 2 things. Both I wanted to address in January. I've been traveling. The last thing we heard from an individual speaking was from Dr. O'Donnell. You closed your statement with this statement. I invite the small clique of you who feel compelled to speak your targeted narrative to become part of the solution you are seeking, not just standing at the podium to express frustration and leaving once the dramatics are over. Roll up your sleeves and truly invest in our school, attend PTO meetings, volunteer in the classroom, and experience firsthand. Better yet, sacrifice some of your personal time, like they all do, referring to the board, and volunteer on the school board and help shape the future of this district from within. I find it very interesting, a few things. One was that you called out by name Dr. O'Donnell 1, 2, 3, 4, including me, 5, 6 members of the community who have spoken at meetings, to quote you, volunteering their time to invest in the community. I want to actually give you some kudos, because you said in the past 1.5 years, you've had 1 resignation and 2 retirements, so that's really commendable considering we've lost more than 150 of our professionals, so really kudos, seriously, amazing. You also mentioned that one of the people who spoke posted something about one of your children online, and that's unacceptable. So 2 things can be wrong at once. I want to make sure that we acknowledge the things that are wrong, both that we as parents are doing and that the board and administrators are doing. My first boss, when I left college, I started pretty late, 31 coming out of college, I would ask him, hey, what do you think about me doing this? And generally he would say is, if you're asking me or you're wondering if you should do something, you shouldn't do it. I want to assume that Dr. Tashner knew you were going to address the board because you had a pre-printed written statement. They weren't fresh. And I'll ignore the fact that you went 4 minutes instead of 3, except I'm actually bringing it up because you were not stopped. But you said a few things that I have issue with. There are 676 signatures on a petition. It's active. And you suggested that only 5% of the population of Schuylkill Valley actually signed it, but considering the culture in the district, one of retaliation, one of individuals going out on medical leave and coming back and basically being forced to resign. One where we have people admit to taking bribes of lunches to advise people on contracts, and then those people winning the contracts that they're helping select. Speaking about the law, and I'll wrap it up in a second. But I think that we really need to, and I appreciate what Carol said when she was up here, that we need to address the problems from within, and we're doing that. So this is me rolling up my sleeves. I work in sales. The summer's my slow time, so my sleeves are rolled up, and I'm looking into the district's policies on what is acceptable, whether administrators are allowed to call out people by name for vocalizing their opinions to the board, and that's it. Thanks.
Jeff, I'd advise you that if you speak at a public meeting, we can address you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get that, but as an administrator, so our administrators are allowed to mention people by name. Just, this is...
You spoke at a meeting. She mentioned that you spoke at the meeting.
Okay. But like, okay, fair enough. But this is an administrator that clearly had permission.
She's a taxpayer,
okay,
and a parent, and an administrator.
Yeah.
So she's wearing 3 different hats.
Yes.
I don't believe she said anything derogatory about you. She just asked you to roll up your sleeves.
Well, she said I was part of a clique, but I don't know anybody here. I just moved to the district recently when I got married, so I don't know anybody. I know you by name, but we don't know each other. I don't know your children. Mm-hmm. I'm coming here to address the issues that I see.
Okay.
So, and I'll continue doing so.
Thank you.
Moving on to 4.0 board, 4.1 solicitors report. Okay, thank you. 4.2, is there any other old or new business? 5.0 superintendent's reports.
Thank you. It is certainly a busy and exciting time of the year. May and June, always exciting to see all the things that are happening as we bring this year to a close. And I know we highlighted some of them earlier, but I want to take a few minutes to highlight several more. So for May, and the month of May, of course, you heard about our special track and field invitational. Go ahead, Mike, you can just click through it if you would. We heard about that, and we're so happy to honor our athletes. We also, in the next slide, you'll see that we had our students that participated in Reading Olympics, our 4th graders. They took home first place ribbon. Our 5th grade, our SV Lit readers brought home the first place tier victory. And our Schuylkill Valley Middle School plot twisters earned a 2nd place tier win. And our Schuylkill Valley Middle School page masters and story squad received a 3rd place tier for their victories. So congratulations to our Reading Olympics team. In the next slide, you'll see that Philadelphia Zoo Unless contest, our 6th grade gifted team competed as state finalists. And our students created an environmental awareness campaign to connect global and local issues. They created walking classrooms where they spoke to visitors about their research in a pop-up classroom along the trail at Nolde Forest. They presented their research and projects at the Philadelphia Zoo's awards ceremony, and they were featured in a post by the Pennsylvania Department of Education. So congratulations to our 6th grade gifted team, and to Dr. Schucker for all of her work. Our spring concert series, I don't know if you were able to see them, but what an outstanding group of concerts. We had our Schuylkill Valley High School concert and art show. We are always amazed at what the music teachers bring together and how amazingly talented our students are. We had the 5th and 6th grade and 7th and 8th grade show where our middle school students talked about their Mr. Santoro and how thankful they were to have the musical back. So a great evening that we had in both of those. Dr. Yingling did a great job, Mr. Smith, all of our teachers. And then, of course, we had a number of concerts at Schuylkill Valley Elementary at all the different grade levels, and also had our annual art show with our 4th grade concert, and our students were well prepared. They sounded outstanding. And if you don't get a chance to go to the Schuylkill Valley Elementary art show, if you didn't get to go this year, I'd encourage you to go next year. It's an amazing evening. We had the dinosaur theme this year that was happening. Our dinosaur eggs were in the library, I think, is that right? Dragon eggs were in the library. I got dinosaur in the brain today. Our dragon eggs were in the library from our dragon theme, and our one book was a great evening. Great to see all the parents and all the students there to celebrate their work. We also had our Schuylkill Valley Middle School Festival of the Arts, another great opportunity to see the artwork of our students. Lots of time and effort goes into this with our art teachers, helping our students prepare, our music teachers, with all of the different students that are there and perform, and hanging all that artwork. So we do appreciate everybody that was there at the Festival of the Arts as well. And of course, we wouldn't want to forget in the next slide our Schuylkill Valley Academic Challenge team. They competed in the Pennsylvania State Championship Tournament. Great opportunity for our students. They finished the season ranked 10th in the state. So congratulations to our team. And then, of course, in the next slide, we'll see our track and field counties champions. We heard about the long jump earlier today, and of course, I did not get to talk about John, who in the 100-meter dash, 10.64. I don't know. There's a lot of us that in our lives have never run 100 meters in 10.64 and probably never will. So congratulations to him and Delilah. Our District 3 2A girls track and field champions again this year. Congratulations to our coaches for such a great job taking our team to the championship in the District 3 level. Our boys track also did well, boys volleyball. Our girls softball won a heartbreaker at the end of the season, lost a heartbreaker at the end of the season, but they also all completed their seasons this year and did very well. And of course, I talked about this earlier, just the picture of Lila on the podium, 6th place in the state. What a tremendous accomplishment. And we'll look forward to honoring her at an upcoming board meeting. We had our athletics recognition night. It was great to see all of our teams from winter and spring sports out and their coaches to hear about their seasons. I want to thank Mr. Miller and we want to thank Mrs. Ryder for all of their work in setting up what was a really fabulous evening. And then, of course, the Schuylkill Valley second FFA banquet. And great evening we had on Sunday with all of our students. Thanks to Mrs. Shalott for all of her work. And we were really excited to see the new officers installed for the 25-26 school year. President is Ian Schloppick. Vice President Lucy Kerr, Secretary Autumn Scheffler, Treasurer Genevieve Fitzgerald, Reporter Lily Kratz, and Centennial Bethany Ramick. So great evening. They did a great job. And we also were so excited in the next slide to see our very own Berks County Dairy Princess. And that should look like a familiar face there, because we had the outgoing 24-25 Berks County Dairy Princess and SV alum Charlotte Wallace, who gave remarks, and she was also the keynote speaker this year at the FFA banquet. So we were excited to have her there. And Lucy Kerr was named as the first alternate Dairy Princess, and she will represent and promote the dairy industry in and around Berks County. So congratulations to all of our students. And then finally, we had just celebrated this month Staff Appreciation Week, and I want to thank all of the administrators on the administrative team who worked so to help create these opportunities to celebrate staff. We had a great time. We had a little delayed grilling event because of the rain, but it was a great day when we did get to it, and appreciate everybody that came out to celebrate all the work that gets done by all of our staff. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Moving on to 6.0, Policy, Personnel, and Public Relations. I'll consolidate 6.1 through 6.3 without objection. I'll entertain a motion. And again, as a reminder, these are items that were spoken about previously at our Committee of the Whole last Monday.
So moved. Bendigo.
Second?
Second, Amaral.
Second, Amaral. Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And those motions pass 8-0. 6.4, addendum employment. The board is considered and recommend approval of Ms. Haley Icabelli, Special Education, PK to 8, teacher, bachelor, step 4, effective with the start of the 25-26 school year, to fill the vacancy created by the transfer of Ms. Danielle Green. I'll entertain a motion. This is something new.
So move, Lash.
Second, Bendigo.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. That passes 8-0. Without objection, looking to consolidate again 6.5 through 6.17. I'll entertain a motion without objection.
So moved. Bendigo.
Second.
Second, Rawson.
Discussion. Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 8-0. We have another addendum item, 6.18, broker authorization and healthcare proposals. The board is requested to consider and approve the broker authorization letter and provide authority to solicit healthcare proposals as presented. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Bendigo.
Second.
O'Donnell.
Discussion?
Just to be clear, this is just seeking proposals to look at this different scenarios. This is not making a choice.
That is correct. This is the ability to go out, to look at the different proposals in light of the rising healthcare costs that have been occurring, and to see what the market looks like, and to bring that back to the board.
Okay. Are the proposals going to be solicited in a way that we can make an apples-to-apples comparison with what we've got now?
That is my understanding, and I'm going to look for Ms. Brightbill if that's a yes. That is a yes.
Okay.
I would assume that that won't be for this year, because we renewed July, correct? July 1.
Correct. This would be to go out, look, see what the market looks like, let the board look at it, have time to think about it, and consider if there's anything that would be an equivalent benefit package at a better cost to the district.
So this would take effect for January, which school year? Because we'd have to get out of the
We're out to the
consortium.
26-27 school year at this
26,
point.
27.
Or 27-28.
Yeah, this would not be taking effect next year. This would be to bring this back to the board to look and see, and we would still need to make provisions for having a discussion about the healthcare consortium that we're currently in. We don't know what the market's going to look like, if we can get a better package for our employees or not.
Thank you.
Any other discussion under 618? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. It passes 8-0. Any other old or new business?
We just wanted to give an update. Ms. Brightbill did do some research on what the lifeguard pay status is in other districts.
So we did receive some information from other districts, but also considering our district specifically and what our competitors are for our students here at the district. Again, the student aquatics, adult aquatics rates have not changed significantly. The last increase was a quarter across the board for the 3 separate positions, and that was back in 2020, 2021. So at this point, looking at the rates that are out there, I would recommend a $3 increase to each of the 3 rates. These individuals typically work an hour to 2 to 3 hours, and they're necessary to make sure that we have the appropriate staffing numbers when we have community aquatic events here at the district, and to afford those opportunities to our community. So that would change our rates to the student aid starting rate would be $11 an hour. Student lifeguards would be $11.75 an hour. And the supervisor, the adult position, would be $13.50 an hour to start. So that's just the base rate.
And that would bring us up to par with other districts?
Not only that, but specifically for our area, our district, there's some other mitigating and other factors for other districts that don't necessarily apply to us. So I did not want to give you a proposal that was artificially higher than I thought it needed to be, and give the board the flexibility to potentially do other increases going forward as well.
Is the student aid required to have a life-saving certificate?
So they are required to have CPR certification, and then the student lifeguard is the position that requires the actual lifeguard certificate.
Okay. Because frankly, these seem a little low.
And again, this is just an initial, proposal for the board to consider, and certainly take the action that the board sees fit.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And if the board wants to think about it, we can bring that back at the June meeting with a motion with those rates and all laid out for the board.
Yeah, frankly, I'm just looking at these rates and thinking that people get paid more than that to run a cash register, and they're not saving lives and don't have specialized training. So it seems low.
And that's, we can do this in June, but I would say that would be the latest that you would want to, in order to make sure that we still have the ability to run those community aquatic events.
Could we bring it up in committee meeting, and we can have it as a voting item in the committee meeting?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that way we have a little bit more time, and that gives us maybe a little bit better pool. Because are we running any lifeguard certification programs? I know in the past we did that here.
We are. I don't know what the timing of those is.
I'm not aware of any at this time.
Okay. Because we used to also run lifeguard aquatics here, and then
Correct.
that kind of gave us an in for having lifeguards hopefully staying within our community.
Correct.
Having 3 kids that were all lifeguards, I kind of know that story. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Other old or new business? 7.0 Curriculum and Technology. Again, we had several items that we spoke about already. I'll entertain a motion from 7.1 through 7.6 to consolidate without objection.
So moved.
Second, Bendigo.
Rossi and Bendigo. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 8-0. We have two items. We'll take them separate. 7.7, addendums, science curriculum, grades K to 12. The board is requesting to consider and approve the K to 12 science curriculum associated online resources and curriculum kits. I entertain a motion.
So moved, Blash.
Second.
Second, Amaral.
Discussion.
I'd just like to say that was very interesting to read the standards and what was in them. And I really like the fact that our reading program in the elementary relates to what these subject matters are and to see where they fit into the program, the standards. So that was really a good thing. And I had said before that curriculum writing isn't the easiest thing to do, so it was really good to see this. Thank you for giving us that chance.
Quick question for you. Where does the embryology, where does that fit into this? Because I know that's a hugely popular fourth grade curriculum item.
So I don't have the steel standards in front of me right now, but what I can tell you is that with the new curriculum or the steel standards, which the state is adopting for this coming school year, I'm thinking if you're not seeing it, it may not be in fourth grade. I don't have that document in front of me, unfortunately, so I'm not certain.
And maybe it's not in the standard, but I mean, with our
FFA.
wildly successful FFA program, it seems like it'd be a huge miss if we let that go. You know, I think maybe just try to find a place to fit it in, if we can, and keep it in the fourth grade because they're familiar with it. And like I said, that's a hugely popular program.
Okay. I can certainly take a look at that and see where that fits. And it very well may. I mean, I know that what Mrs. Lash was saying, there's a lot of science that we're also doing in language arts, so it's possible it may fit into what we're doing there, which would be great if it could fit in there, too.
And I do know that it runs through the environmental literacy standards and the sustainability. So, and those run from K all the way through 12th grade. Those standards run all the way up through the different disciplines.
Yes,
So there will be plenty of opportunity to keep that. We certainly wouldn't want to
I'd like to
do away with it.
Right.
I'd like to get an assurance that we're going to have that somewhere in the curriculum.
Yeah, and the environmental literacy and sustainability, that will happen in those 2 additional courses that they do in the elementary school. So they definitely will have the opportunity to have that. But I will take a look and make sure that.
Yeah, and it's not a matter of it being stated on this page, but fitting it in somewhere.
Got it.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on 7.7? Thank you for the lift, and also our faculty and staff to participate. It's important that we keep our curriculum in line with the new state regs, and also that, you know, to be a competitive school, we want to make sure that the programs we're offering are, you know, will help our kids be successful as they go in life and also as they go through the standardized testing and everything else that they're going to face.
Yeah. It's a big deal to get this done.
So,
Yes. No, so they've actually been working on this for 2 years. So I came in the last quarter of that, but we did have meetings with our high school separately, and then K to 4, and then 5 to 8. So we all met. They met a bunch prior to me coming on to the position, and then we had a meeting in the spring to make sure that everybody was on the same page, and then we had all of the meetings with the vendors as well. So we were still having those discussions during that, and they got to see 3 different vendors to provide the kits that that they're looking at that they would like to support the Open Science curriculum that they'll be using, and then also the Discovery Mystery Science for K1 and 2, and then for the high school. I have a presentation for math, so we're good there.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote on 7-7, the science curriculum, grades K to 12. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. It passes 8-0. It's a good thing you're standing up there, because I'm sure we'll have more questions. 7-8 is another addendum, mathematics curriculum K to 8, algebra 2, and geometry. The board is requested to approve the mathematics curriculum for grades K to 8, algebra 2, and geometry, and the associated McGraw-Hill Reveal Math resources, online resources, and textbooks. I'll entertain a motion.
So move, Lash.
Second. O'Donnell. Second. Discussion.
I'll take this.
And I hear there's a presentation. Do you want to do the presentation first?
I just wanted to say, for people who think that our students aren't learning anything in school across the United States, all they have to do is look at what's expected in our math program. I really liked algebra. It wasn't great. I wasn't real fond of geometry, but if our kids get through what is expected of them up through geometry trig, they've got a pretty good background in math here at Schuylkill Valley if they accomplish all of what's in that curriculum. And I'm really glad our kids can do that stuff. It's not an easy course to get through some of those things. So again, I really respect those people who wrote those standards into our curriculum base. So yeah, if anybody wants to see that, I'm sure you'll give them the opportunity from the public to look at that, because it's a well-rounded program in math.
You might cover this, but just a quick question. Is the new curriculum going to alleviate the issue that we have with, I know, our current 8th graders, and I don't remember if it was our freshmen or if it's our current 7th graders that also were affected, that they have to take like a credit and a half of math for the accelerated math? Are we going to alleviate that issue?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so that course, historically, the students were taking Algebra 1 in 8th grade, and then our most accelerated students were coming to the high school and taking a combined course for 1 year that was Geometry and Algebra 2 together in one class period for 1 year. And we said that was too much, and actually our teacher said it was too much as well, because they were not able to split the course half and half. It ended up being that it was into February and March before they were getting to geometry, and the students weren't getting what they needed, and it was a lot. So what we did for this year was we actually had the students take the Accelerated Algebra 2 course, and then for the second semester, they took geometry as well, that same group of students. And that same teacher taught it. So that way, you know, when she was giving a test in Algebra 2, obviously she knew then not to give them a test in geometry. We didn't have a separate person. So what we are going to be doing now is we're actually going to accelerate students at the middle school level and allow there to be students in 7th grade taking Algebra 1, so that then they can take geometry when they are in 8th grade, and then when they get to 9th grade, they're able to move on to Algebra 2, and they won't have that double up that they have right now, and they'll still be able to get to AP Calculus A, B, and BC. So that is actually, and that same group of students, we believe, is the same group of students who would be taking Algebra 1 in 7th grade. So we should be able to do that. And if we would happen to have students who maybe not feel quite ready to take Algebra 1 in 7th grade, we still would have a pathway for them to get to that point. They may just have to double up somewhere in high school in order to do that. But by backing up Algebra 1, we'll be able to get everything in, and then they won't have to do those two courses together at the high school level.
Thank you.
So I have a presentation for you about Reveal Math, which is the math program that our teachers have taken a look at, and this is the one that they like the most. So what we actually did was any teacher who had anything to do with writing the curriculum. So we had a lot of teachers across the district, K to 8, and then even in the high school, who did some work on the curriculum this year. And so all of them were invited to come to vendor presentations. And we saw 4 different vendors present math materials, and they filled out evaluation forms, and then we compiled those forms, and we landed on Reveal Math as the winner, per se, of that. And I will say that I did not have one negative form filled out for that. I mean, everybody loved Reveal Math. So this wasn't a polarizing choice. They loved it. So I'm going to just do a little presentation for you just so you can see some information about Reveal Math. And it is very impressive, and the amount that you'll be able to see as a parent is really great, and then all of the things that are built in for students to get extra help and even to accelerate them or provide some enrichment for them if they need it is there as well. So it is McGraw-Hill. It meets the expectations in Ed Reports, so K to 8. So Ed Reports is an independent organization. They actually look at how the program structure, how it structures evidence-based teaching, and it helps to support college and career readiness. So they're a completely independent nonprofit. They rate materials, and all of Reveal Math from K to 8 and actually K to 12, because it's a K to 12 program, met their expectation. There are digital and physical text materials. They have Alex, which is a personalized online learning system, that integrates with Reveal. There are computation and fluency probes. There's parent resources and professional learning. This is just an example from Ed Reports, so you can see what that looks like. If you would go, anyone can go on that website and you can type in Reveal Math and see what they have to say about the program. This is just what it looks like for Reveal Math, and this is about as good as I could find for anyone, so it really is impressive. As I said, there are textbook and digital resources. So our students K to 5 will have consumables. They'll have 2. There's a volume 1 and a volume 2. And then there's an additional student workbook that they will have, which our representative described as something that if students have homework, they might take that back and forth to and from school. Grades 6 and 7 have the 2 consumables for students. They don't have that extra practice book. And then 8th grade would have an algebra book that is a hardcover text. They do have the option of having the consumable. However, our teachers preferred them having the hardcover text. All of that is available online. So the textbook is online, so it can be accessed from any device, anywhere, with the student login for that. And then Algebra 1, so because we offer Algebra 1 in 8th grade, our students in 7th grade would take their accelerated program, which would make sure that they're prepared for Algebra 1. The program is structured in a launch. They actually have a warm-up and prerequisite skills pretest. So one thing that I thought was really neat is that when they give the pretest isn't like,
here's all the stuff you're going to learn in this unit, see how much you know now. It's actually all of the prerequisite skills, the things they need to know and master before getting into that unit. So a teacher will be able to see right away, because it's digital, they'll be able to see right away what the kids know and what they don't know. It will show up for them, and it'll actually recommend groups to put students in, activities to use with students who may be a little bit behind or struggling in some of those different concepts. So it really would do that for them. And then there's the Explore and Develop section, which would be the instruction, the activities, examples and checks, and then Reflect and Practice. There's exit tickets that, again, because that's digital, how the students do on the exit ticket shows up right away because the students do it digitally, shows up for the teacher. They can take a look at it after class and then structure the next day based on what the students know and don't know. There's writing prompts and lots of practice. There's spiral practice. There's practice for students who are above level, and then the practice for students who need support. So the really neat thing is it actually will spell out for teachers if I have, say, 10 students and 3 of them are above level, 4 of them are right where they need to be, and 3 of them are below level, it will actually tell the teacher, here's what to do with each group of students, and then while the teacher might be working in a small group with those students who are struggling, it gives activities for the other students to work on while they're working with that small group to get them where they need to be. So it really does spell out everything that they can do with all of that data that they're gathering. K-7, K-5, as I said, has an additional practice book, and there's manipulatives. The first unit in all of K-7 is actually called Math Is. So it's to set norms for the classroom, review the prior year standards, and actually just get them in a good, positive mindset for math, because we know a lot of times we go into it and we're like, I'm not good at math. So it really tries to get them excited about math. A lot of our teachers like that about it. There's a readiness diagnostic, the same as I mentioned with Algebra 1. It's really just testing those prerequisite skills so it knows where they're coming in. And then the intervention lessons will be based on that data. There's real-world connections, connections to STEM and careers. Every lesson has corresponding differentiation. There's 3 different options for that. There are several options, and this is across the board, so even in Algebra 1 and geometry. Several options for summative assessments. One thing I know we've talked about before, we will no longer have we can't share tests because we don't have extra questions. There's a 3,000 plus question test bank, so we will always have questions to provide students on tests so that we can always change them up. Additional benefits, the data is going to follow the student from grade level to grade level, so all of the data that it gathers on the students will follow them from grade level to grade level, so the next year's teacher will see exactly where the student is, what they know, what they need practice on, which is really neat, and that was, again, something the teachers really liked. It will show multiple ways to solve a problem. There's math replay videos. This is one of the things that really hooked me. It will actually go through the lesson. It's a video that will go through the lesson. Great for students who might be absent, who were struggling and just need that extra to look at it again. Maybe while they're working on homework, if they need to look at it again. They come in Spanish, so they can watch them in Spanish. Parents can watch them if they want to help their child, and again, they're in Spanish, so a Spanish-speaking parent could watch the video, and that would be accessible to them as well, which I thought was great. Teachers can upload their own material into the platform, so if there was something that they really liked that they had used before, they can upload that into the platform as well. The teachers can give the assessments. This is actually meant to be almost like a hybrid system. They can do things on paper, they can do things digitally, they can do both. You could assign a test on paper to students that you think might do better with the test on paper, and it digitally for students that might do better with that. It's text to speech, so a student who needs a test read to them, it will read it to them, so they would obviously have it digitally. You can change it depending on, what unit you're on, whether you wanted to do it on paper or digitally, so it is very flexible that way. But if they do give the assessment on paper, it's really easy to upload the results. They give you a spreadsheet, and the teacher just plugs in the scores on the test and then uploads it, and it all populates into the system. There's mid-unit math probes, which are strategically placed to target any misconceptions. Oh, and the assessment data, as I said earlier, will also generate possible groupings and resources to use for extra help or for extension. And as I said, it will read aloud. It has text-to-speech. Everything is text-to-speech. For parents, the video lessons that I mentioned for review will be helpful for adults at home. There are data sheets available to send home. That was something actually our kindergarten teachers asked about. It's very easy to print out a report that shows parents where students are, what they knew, what they didn't know on a test. It will give you all of that data. The textbook is available online, so that can be accessed from home anytime. And Alex, which I briefly mentioned, I'm going to show you a little bit of, students can use that from home for extra practice. So anytime a parent says, why don't you spend 5 minutes working on your math, they can pull it up and work on it, and it's actually exactly what they need to be working on. This is just an example of what a teacher would see if they go into it. You can see they have any assignments that the students do online. The ebook options are there for them to see. You can see that it's also in Spanish. There's a glossary and all sorts of other things there for them to access. This is just an example of what the digital textbook looks like. I just wanted to show you that. You can see some examples of some problems there that students might see and can answer directly in the textbook, or they could answer in their consumable. Alex is the digital learning platform, so this would actually take the place of Get More Math or iReady. It has a Keystone course in it for Algebra 1. The teachers can push out certain skills for students to work on, but actually how it works is that the students take a diagnostic right from the beginning. It sees what they know out of 30 questions, and then it actually targets a path for them. So teachers can say, like, you need to work on this, or Alex can say these students need to work on these concepts. There's fact fluency included. Students can work independently. Like I said, they can pull it up anytime and work on it. And then the data integrates with the work they're doing in Reveal Math. So all of that stuff that they're doing on a daily basis in math class, all of the things in Alex will integrate directly into it. So the teacher will be able to see everything they're doing in Alex alongside everything they're doing in the regular class period. This is what the diagnostic knowledge check looks like. That's the initial 30 questions. And actually, what they try to do is have as little multiple choice questions as possible. They really want to replicate the pencil to paper experience for students. It gives immediate feedback and creates a learning path for those students. And then after they take that, they see this pie, and it shows them the concepts that they know. The gray is what they don't know yet, and the color is what they do know. And then they obviously work to fill in that pie. And then this is actually the dashboard that a teacher would see through Alex. So you can kind of see the pie report. That would be for all of their students in class, what their kids know, what they don't know. All of the class information, students that are not recently logged in, it'll give you the amount of time they've spent on it, their progress, overall grade, time and topic. So the vendor presentation was attended by 20 teachers. That's over half of our math teachers in the district, so that was great. The 8th grade actually had a separate presentation, and then they stayed for the rest of it just because Algebra 1 was a little bit different, so they actually asked if they could meet with them first and go over that program with them. Reading over the evaluations, the word love was used quite a bit in the evaluations. Some of the comments, love the daily differentiation, love the Alex online aspect and the progress monitoring aspect, love that the online tests are read aloud, math replay videos, amazing resource. Really like the Explore Through STEM, gives an everyday reason for when I will use this. Exit tickets, drive differentiation, impressive use of blended approach. I think this math ties better with our new STEELS standards and has everything we want in a math program. So those are just some of the comments, and they came from all different
evaluations. So it was overwhelmingly preferred by our teachers. We won't need to add any resources because everything is in this. We actually will be able to take away some things that we currently are purchasing. We will have a lot of data to show how our students are doing, which right now we don't have a lot. So we will be able to see how they're doing every step of the way. And our teachers and students will be able to get everything done in one place, which will be great. Does anyone have any questions? Go ahead, Mr. Rossi.
All right, have we tested the software and online material with our student devices to make sure that they can process quickly enough to access that material?
So we have not done that yet because all we have is the demo, although we did share with the vendor exactly what we have. So I can certainly see, I know we use McGraw-Hill for something already in the district, so I think we're okay. Yes, Mr. Sobchak said yes. But
I would caution against relying on the vendor to tell you that it works.
Well, yes.
Obviously, but
yeah.
I know our devices are not the most powerful things in the world, and I'm by no means a computer guy, but real-world testing would be really good before we actually go ahead with this, if we can possibly do that.
And I will share with Mr. Sobchak all of the information that I have, too, just to make sure that everything seems to work okay. But we did have a conversation the other day, and he did mention, which I had forgotten, that we are using McGraw-Hill somewhere else in the district. So it is a resource that we already have. So we should be okay, but I will make sure to share everything I have.
Yeah, it'd be a good double check.
Yeah, there's actually a brochure with it that goes through all of that, so I'll just make sure he has it.
Okay. And then are the online materials, you said they're accessible to the parents, are they accessible via a phone or a tablet, or do you have to have a PC?
Yes, and anything.
Okay.
Phone, iPad, the regular PC, all of it.
Okay. And then for the example problems, like I know I struggled to come up with enough practice material for my kids going through some of the math classes. For the practice materials that they have, do they have just the solution, or do they have a breakdown? Like, I know I've gone on Google, and there's a couple of math apps that really break down the problem. They don't just give you right to the solution. They show you all the steps in between, which I found very helpful. Does this have that as well, or is it just an answer key?
I believe so. I know in Alex, it will, if students miss 2 questions in a row, it will actually take them to the explanation and walk them step by step through how. And then if they continue getting it wrong, it will actually encourage them to take a break. But I know there's a lot of extra practice in addition to what is standard with the textbook. But let me get some more information about exactly how all of that practice works and how it is accessible from home. I know that you can use Alex from home, and a student can go on that and do anything they wish to on there. But let me just I'll get some more information just so you have it.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, to Mr. Rossi's point, just the volume testing to go through. If you have 50, just historically they had issues with, hey, 20 kids are on, and hey, it all worked. And then all of a sudden you put 150 kids on, and now it's like a 5-minute response time, or lag coming through. I mean, technology has picked up, so it would be kind of critical to make sure, I'm sure if it occurred somewhere else, you would be hearing it somewhere in the universe about that. And so when was the last time we had the math and the science curriculums updated to the extent, have we ever had it updated to the extent of having this comprehensive?
I think science was in 2008 or 9. I know that there was some work done on math a few years ago, but K-8 has had the same resources since 2014. So even though they had done a little bit of work with the curriculum itself, they have still been using an outdated resource. So it is important that we get them something that's more updated, certainly.
And I agree, like, if you look at our standardized scores, and even though standardized scores, I'm not totally fond of that, but the state looks at that and our proficiency scores, that hopefully this gives now better tools to track and more comprehensive between the grades and also between our staff, so that as you're, if somebody didn't write great notes, nothing against the teacher, but if they didn't have great notes on a particular student, you might not notice their deficiencies, and this seems to be now more comprehensive. So this is all built-in electronic record keeping, so this kind of tells the story right away, and that less interpretation or requirements on our staff to try to track this.
Yeah, and one of the really great things that happened too when we were writing the curriculum is, obviously I wasn't here when it was written prior, but one of the things, it actually was done backwards to how we did this. So when we sat and went through the standards and the teachers really looked at them, they noticed that there were things that they were teaching in their classroom that actually aren't standards for their grade level. They may have been in a future year or behind, and so they realized that they actually had, like, a lot of the curriculum, especially K-5, had been written based on the Go Math textbook, which is not based on Pennsylvania standards. So instead of taking a look and saying, what is it that we need to teach and when, it looks like, and the teachers would say that too, because that's what we talked about in the meetings, it almost looks like they looked at the book and said, okay, we have to do this, 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 and this to follow the book. And so now that we've taken a look at those standards, they know exactly when things have to happen and who has to do what. So it was really nice to be able to take our time and go through that. Even though we did go through this process quickly, that was really where we spent the bulk of the time, was looking at what do the standards say and what does that mean that our kids need to know and be able to do. And that was really the important part of the work that we did. And then after we knew that, then we looked at the resource and said, which resource is going to support us best to do what we need to do. And you're right. I mean, the teachers are amazing and are doing an excellent job, but having all of this data can only help them to do an even more phenomenal job than they're already doing. So it really is going to spell out for them what to do, and by saving them that time, they'll be able to spend that time working with students instead of analyzing their own data that they have in class, which takes a lot of time to do.
2 more questions. Does the program have any offline viewing capabilities? Because I know we still struggle with some students having access to online resources at home. And if everything's going to be online, is there any kind of accommodation to make sure they can access it when they're not in the school?
So I don't know about the online resources, but I will ask about that. But everything that's online, at least in terms of the text and the practice book, is all also physically. They also will have that physically.
Okay.
So, but I will ask about whether that's available offline, how that works.
Because I know, like a streaming service like Amazon or something, you could download something to watch it later when you don't have access to Wi-Fi or internet access at all.
I mean, it makes sense that that would be the case, but I don't want to tell you yes and then it's not, so I'll ask.
And then privacy. The students are logging in. I guess they're each going to have their own account. What kind of information are they collecting? I mean, are they required to give a social security number to have a student account with this, or is it strictly just on their email, or we sign them up?
I would think it would just be through ClassLink, so is that?
Mr. Sobchak, could you please come up and take Jenny off the hook with some of these technology?
Yes, sir.
You might as well get in this. You're sitting back there enjoying this.
So when we roster through McGraw-Hill and a lot of these different programs, it's minimum amount of information we can give them possible. So for this situation, it'd be first name, last name, email address as issued by the district.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mr. Sobchak, can you just talk about the bandwidth issue that was being discussed and maybe how that impacted us during PSSA testing, et cetera?
Sure. So bandwidth-wise, I mean, this is McGraw-Hill. This is going to be hosted by them as long as we have an internet connection out to them. Any outages or things like that would typically be on the vendor. I have yet to see a point where we have overwhelmed our network or our traffic outbound. These resources are web-based, so they're really not that intensive. It's no different than going to a pretty minimal website compared to a Netflix that requires a lot more bandwidth because of video streaming.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
You said the feedback was pretty.
No, no.
You said the feedback was overwhelmingly positive for the math. Like, how does that process work that you're getting back from the teachers? I mean, I know the curriculum, we saw the surveys, they were kind of like a yes and no. Like, and this goes to science a little bit too, where they, you know, the staff ever feedback like, okay, we saw, I think it was 3 for science, 4 for math. Did they get the rank these? Like, this is my favorite. It's what I want after they evaluated all these.
So what we did in both situations was they had an evaluation form that is provided from the district, and you're right, there are a lot of yeses and nos. It goes through whether it has certain things that we look for as a district. And then there's a place for them to write their comments at the end and also say, like, if there's anything that they feel like they would need in addition to it. And teachers very much put notes all over that form. What I did both with the science and the math was at the end of the presentations, we actually talked quite a bit. I will say it was pretty, when they saw something they didn't like, they weren't as talkative, but certainly at the very last meeting of each, I went around, especially with Reveal Math, I went around to each individual, the teachers kind of sat by grade, but I made sure that I talked to each individual grade to say, what did you think? You know, how are you feeling about it? I was particularly interested in how they felt about Alex because the middle school was using Get More Math and the elementary is using iReady. And 2 presentations prior, they had asked, are we still going to be able to keep iReady? Are we still going to be able to keep Get More Math? And that program also had an online personalized learning platform that was sort of similar to this. So I really was interested in their feedback about that, and every single one of them was like, no, we don't even need that. This is amazing, because those things don't actually connect to the work that the teachers are doing, and this does. Those are totally separate programs that they would put a student on, but they didn't connect to the actual program that they were using. So I made sure to talk to each individual or each individual grade or each individual teacher as they came up and gave me their sheet. They had the materials to look at during the presentation, so they were able to look at those. They were able to ask any questions that they had, but it was overwhelming. I mean, everybody was so excited, like even during the presentation, they were going, oh my gosh, yes, like this is great. Like, and every question they kept asking, the answer was always yes. Like, yes, we have that, yes, we can do that, which was great. But I didn't just collect the sheets and not talk to them. We actually talked at the end just to make sure that like what I was hearing from them was correct, and then I verified it with the evaluation forms that we had.
That feedback was similar for the science? Doing that?
Yes, the kits the teachers loved because Open SciEd is very, very comprehensive. You will hear often that it is a little overwhelming because there's just a lot of resources for teachers. So the fact that the kits that they would like from ECA actually provide everything they need in order to do all of the labs, they don't have to do any of the work. If they need a 2x2 square of aluminum foil, they'll have 30 2x2 squares of aluminum foil in their pack. They don't just get a roll of aluminum foil that they're then cutting themselves. So they were extremely excited about that. Our K1 and 2 loved Mystery Science because our K1 and 2 are teaching language arts, math, science, and social studies. So Mystery Science kind of is everything all packaged together. Mystery Doug is the name of the guy, and he has little videos that they will watch, and they have the phenomena, and then they will go through the activities, and it just walks the teacher through everything. They don't have to do a lot of work on their end. It does a lot of the work for them.
K through 3.
So K through 2 is using Mystery Science. 3 to 8 is using the kits that go with Open SciEd. And then our high school teachers actually met with our biology teachers specifically because they have the biggest change because we're moving biology to 9th grade, and that is the majority of the department. So we sat down and met, and I said, what would make this easier for you to deliver this content? And so they asked to have the Discovery, which is called a science tech book. So it is an online resource that has videos, it has articles, it is constantly updating, so it's brand new. There's labs in there for them to do if they wish to. It does text-to-speech. It will actually lower reading passage 2 grade levels below if need be. So it does a lot of things for them, and they haven't had a new resource. I forget what year they told me their textbook was. I feel like it was 2010. So this would get them a new textbook, essentially, that they can use for a class, which they appreciated.
Is that currently the rest of high school, and is it just going to be biology?
So all the high school science teachers will have access to that. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Rexford. Any other questions on 7-8? Thank you for the comprehensive explanation. Like I said, it just seems like I like the layering of, it's for both cases that it's pulling the data up through the grades. You can see deficiencies, again, that you don't, as you're passing the students from one grade to the next, that those deficiencies are already captured and recognized so the teacher coming in the incoming school year can see the deficiencies that their students have to work with through, and hopefully gets the insight, and then hopefully makes everybody be more successful in their challenges. So hearing no other questions or concerns, I'll ask for the vote for 7-8. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. It passes 8-0. 7-9, any other old or new business for curriculum and technology? Moving on to 8-0, budget and finance. I don't think we have anything different than what we talked about at our committee of the whole. So without objection, I'll move to consolidate 8-1 through 8-8. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. O'Donnell.
O'Donnell, second.
Second, Bendigo.
Second, Bendigo. Any discussion?
Just one question. I think they're going to get us an update on the adult meal price. Did you ask that, Al, or somebody? Linda asked that, yeah. That was the only IOU I think we had. Yeah.
Yeah, the adult price is $4.20.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
It's a lot of walking for $4.20.
Get her some semaphore flags.
So any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 8-0. Any other old or new business under 8-9 for budget and finance? (9.0) Buildings and grounds. We had 6 items that we talked about during our committee meeting, 9-1 through 9-6. Without objection, I'll entertain a motion to consolidate 9-1 through 9-6.
So moved, O'Donnell.
Second, Rossi.
Discussion. Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Those items pass 8-0. 9.7, any other old or new business for buildings and grounds? Moving on to 10.0, student services and activities. We have 6 items that we discussed at our committee meeting. Without objection, I'll ask for a motion to consolidate 10.1 through 10.6. Entertain a motion.
So moved, Lash.
Second, Rossi.
Discussion. Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes. 10.7, any other old or new business?
Yeah, I have one item. We've had a rash of student driver incidents here in the last few months, and I wondered if we could open a discussion about maybe bringing back driver's ed to the high school as part of our curriculum.
Yes, we'll have Mrs. Rexroad do some legwork on that. We'll get a presentation together for June.
Yeah, it just seems like it's something that's needed in the community, so. Thank you.
I just have a question. Are we going to get an update about the Costa Rica trip at all? Is that going to come to us, or?
Mrs. Salster, I believe, is coming in June, if I understood that right.
Thank you.
And I think the other old business we had was about the prom, so if Mrs. Godfrey could come up, that would be great.
Hello. So the question was about dining at prom specifically, and students who had dietary restrictions and things like that. So I spoke with Ms. Kamoff. She is the junior class sponsor who kind of works through prom and things. So she kind of walked me through the process. Tickets are purchased during lunches. During that time, students then receive an information sheet that comes along with their ticket. There is going to be a disclosure about food allergies within that packet. Students with those food restrictions or dietary restrictions are then to meet with the junior class advisor, who is Ms. Kamoff, and then moving forward, she will meet with them to confirm the restrictions, and then that will be meeting with either the student, then the school nurse to verify, or contacting home to parent or guardian, and then she will then reach out to the event caterer to determine whatever options they have available for that student and those dietary restrictions.
Is that the current process, or we're updating that process?
So that is the current process that they worked through this year, and it'll be moving forward the same.
What kind of documentation is generated through that process, for the record?
I'm not 100%. I just know that in the packet that's given to the students, or the information sheet that's given to the students, it highlights in there, please meet with the junior class sponsor to discuss those dietary needs. She can verify with the nurse if there's anything written or documented, and then call home as well.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was a file kept then when we did have an issue, just to make sure that it was accessible to everybody, that we had done what we needed to do.
Yes. I believe the parent of that specific student reached out a week leading up to prom to kind of lay out the options for that student.
Okay, great, thanks.
While we're on this topic, I know you're not in charge of prom, but if you can just take some feedback, is there any way that we can change the venue? It's been in a tent, and we've had rain the past several years, that there's rain, across the dance floor, and that's just not acceptable to me.
The popular venue actually is the Reading Phillies Stadium. with the upgrades that they made there, a lot of schools have had their prom at the stadium.
Just caution that I heard that they gave a great introductory rate this year to lure people for next year at a higher rate. So that's what I had
We
heard.
would have to research it, but
Yes.
that is one that's been popular across the county.
Okay.
Would the board like a presentation later in the, perhaps in the summer or in August about what some of the potential venues are? We could bring that back to you if you'd like to hear about it.
That would be great. I would just really like it not to be in a tent where our kids are going to get wet again.
Anything else under 10.7? Thank you for your responses.
Just one thing. I'd like to thank the IT staff and the custodians and anybody else that set up the environment here for our meeting tonight. You did a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah.
So moving on to 11.0, other business, good of the order. I know there was a question, just as a follow-up, we had on our agenda at our committee of the whole to talk about the POW and the MIA flag. And just as a reminder, it's not listed here because we're awaiting the guidance to come back. The state is looking at making this a requirement, and it's actually in the we'll see what gets processed in the last couple days of this session here, the legislative session. So I know there was a question in the community to see what we were going to do. We were looking towards the guidance because the state legislature is actually looking at making that a requirement. And I think the state legislator from Boyertown, I think, was looking at that. So that's just where we're at for now. Anything else under other business, go to the order?
I do have something. Mr. Golden, have we ever met? No. Have we ever spoken until just now? No. Have I given you my phone number? Has anyone given you my phone number? Okay, thank you. I just wanted that on the record. I appreciate it.
12.0, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, O'Donnell.
Second.
Steinke.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. The board will move in executive session.